Make sure your employer understands that you're working flexibly, because that, I think, is one of the mistakes that we make, is that we assume that because we're working so incredibly hard and long hours, and that we're checking on our emails at night, and that the first thing we do when we wake up is go onto our work emails, and what we read on the weekends is work related, and we're really on 24/7. And then we hope that what is the sort of quid pro quo, or the give and take, is that it's okay if we do a school drop-off, or we go to a school assembly, or we go to a doctor's appointment, or whatever it is that we do that's not keeping us at the desk 9 to 5, is offset by all of that extra endeavour. But the difficulty is if your boss, or you're the person to whom you're reporting, just sees that you're not at your desk, or that you seem to be taking an extra long lunch break, or that you seem to be taking liberties with your time, they don't realise that in your mind you're doing this very complicated set of adjustments where you're saying, it's okay that I'm doing this because I did all of that, and do you remember that day I went interstate for work? Well, I worked all night that night, and so that all offsets, doesn't it, to come up with an even performance. But the difficulty is, if your employer or your manager isn't aware of that, it doesn't matter how well you've justified it in your head, they're just going to think that you're not giving all that you should. So I think the most fundamental thing is, have the discussion with your manager. Say to them, this is my understanding of my responsibilities. I believe I can deliver and honour those responsibilities without having to be at my desk 9 to 5, but I just need to make sure that that's your understanding as well, and is there going to be that benefit of the doubt, or that trust that will allow you to actually have that flexibility.
Would you say communication throughout those arrangements is very important as well?
I think it's two things. I think it's getting it agreed up front, so that it doesn't just become a blurred line of understanding. There's no risk then, I think, if you actually say up front, the way I need to work is this and that. And then to keep checking in. Is it still working for you? You might not know that last week I went to 2 events on behalf of the company. Sort of keeping you updated as to how it's working for me. Is it working for you? I think it's two things. I think it's getting it agreed up front, and then checking in regularly to make sure it's still working.